Some movies just absolutely destroy box office projections, setting society on fire and drawing in waves of crowds to be entertained, transfixed, and transported through visual splendor to realms of pure imagination. They captivate entire swaths of the population and break records left and right. Before we begin, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Every new sub helps us achieve our goal and keeps us motivated to create new content. With that being said, I'm your host, Jamie, and here are the 10 highest grossing films. Number 1. Avatar. Only briefly did Avengers Endgame hold the crown for the biggest global box office, until Avatar regained it through re-release. Avatar was the first film to gross over $2 billion worldwide, and topped previous reigning champ Titanic. Both films are James Cameron joints. And say what you will about the script, but the film is a technical masterpiece. It introduced the audiences to a new kind of immersive theater experience with its cutting-edge 3D tech. The film was beautifully shot with breathtaking action, all elevated by the late great James Horner's masterful score. Head on over to Disney Plus or Max to enjoy this adventure. Number 2. Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame was the culmination of over 10 years of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's storytelling. It was the capstone for the Infinity Saga. A year after Avengers Infinity War left audiences hanging with a cliffhanger comparable to that of Empire Strikes Back, audiences were given a satisfying conclusion in Endgame that was itself a monumental cinematic achievement. Though Avengers Endgame is a bit of a mess narratively, boy does it stick the landing. It was one of the most satisfying theatrical experiences I've ever had, in an unforgettable payoff to all the stories and all the build-up that came before it. You can check it out for yourself over on Disney Plus, Prime, Google Play, Apple TV, or Fandango. Number 3. Avatar: The Way of Water. Investors could rest easy as Avatar: The Way of Water opened with warm critical reception, some even noting storytelling improvement over the original, as well as $100+ million in the US alone. A sequel to Avatar was a no-brainer after the original smashing success in 2009 and 10. James Cameron even announced he would helm at least 2 more not long after the first one's release. Every couple of years he pushed the dates back, and typically studios want to strike while the iron is hot. By the time 2013-2014 rolled, interest in 3D had diminished, and Avatar's flame had dimmed. Luckily for everyone, Cameron is a skilled filmmaker that takes his time, and his films don't follow box office norms anyway. Like the original, Avatar: The Way of Water was a gorgeous sci-fi film with electrifying action and an overall immersive experience. It did a wonderful job further fleshing out the characters as well as world building. The film brought more depth and nuance to the story while also setting up for future installments. Make sure to check this out on Disney Plus, Max, Hulu, Prime, Google Play, Fandango, or Apple TV. Number 4. Titanic. Titanic is the oldest film on this list, celebrating 27 years in 2024, as it came out at the end of 1997. It too was directed by James Cameron. He certainly knows how to make an epic crowd pleaser. Titanic was the first film to cost $200 million, but it was also the first to make over $1 billion globally. $1.8 billion to be exact. It would eventually hit over $2 billion with re-releases. All the more impressive is that back in the 90s, movie analysts weren't so sure Titanic would be the success it was, especially with all the behind-the-scenes troubles. Ultimately, the audiences loved it, and it remains a timeless, epic love story even today. Titanic was so beloved that it received a record 14 Academy Award nominations with 11 wins, including Best Picture. Enjoy this classic on AMC Plus, ViX, Paramount Plus, Philo, Roku, Sling, Prime, Google Play, Apple TV, or Fandango. Number 5. Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. The excitement for Star Wars The Force Awakens was out of the stratosphere prior to its release in December of 2015. How much people enjoy it seems to have dwindled over the years. But I was there. I vividly remember how happy audiences were with it when it dropped in theaters. It was the first live-action Star Wars movies audiences had seen in over 10 years, and the first of many after Lucas sold the IP to Disney. Although derivative, it was undoubtedly a fun, technically well-made, nostalgic blast. The Force Awakens was such a massive success that it is still the biggest movie of all time in the US, sitting comfortably at around $930 million. For a point of reference, number 2 is Avengers Endgame, just shy of $860 million. Take some time to continue the story on Disney Plus, Fubo, Stars, Hulu, Sling, Roku, Prime, Philo, Google Play, Fandango, Apple TV, TNT, or TBS. Number 6. Avengers Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War was a penultimate film in the Infinity Saga and featured the first of many battles in which the Avengers finally go toe-to-toe with the long-anticipated big bad Thanos. Thanos was first teased in the end credit of 2012's The Avengers, and appeared periodically throughout the MCU films to keep fanning the flames of excitement for the ultimate showdown. Avengers Infinity War features almost every Avenger that had been introduced up until that point, and was the first film in which the Guardians and Avengers actually meet up. In my opinion, this was the superior film over fan favorite Endgame, and one of the best superhero films, period. It was exciting, with thrilling action sequences, funny and emotional, with one of the most startling endings in cinema history. Make sure to take part over on Disney Plus, Google Play, Prime, Fandango, or Apple TV.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hi, I'm Lacey Jane, and these are my designs. Some of my pieces will be in an upcoming showcase at the Annex. If you like what you see, find me at Lacey Jane's Designs on Facebook. You can also follow me on Instagram at Lacey Jane Designs, where you can also contact me if you'd like to purchase any of my artworks. Thanks again.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Number 7. Spider-Man No Way Home. Since 2002's original Spider-Man film, the web slinger has been one of the most bankable superheroes of the box office. It's easy to see why, as Spider-Man is an immensely popular and relatable character that lets fans revisit the sentiments of their adolescence in a fun and riveting way. When Sony teamed up with the Disney MCU, their iteration of Spider-Man, played by Tom Holland, was a true return to form in character and story. Holland's interaction of Spider-Man was introduced in Captain America Civil War, before his first solo outing, Spider-Man Homecoming. Despite how amazing that Spider-Man film, as well as its follow-up, Far From Home, are, no one could predict we'd get a Spider-Man that would top masterpieces like Spider-Man 2, or even the brilliantly animated modern classic Into the Spider-Verse. No Way Home did everything right. All the surprises and impactful moments had audiences literally cheering and or in tears. I witnessed it firsthand. No Way Home was a new benchmark for comic films and set a gold standard for multiverse cinema. No Way Home is rousing, funny, deeply emotional, with a poignant story about that masterfully explores grief and redemption. It is also a love letter to Spider-Man and his fans. Make sure to check it out on Fubo, Hulu, Sling, Prime, Google Play, Apple TV, or Fandango. Number 8. Jurassic World. Jurassic World was 14 years in the making, and, as a superfan, worth the wait as it came respectively close to the awe and thrills of the original. Upon its release, the original Jurassic Park became an epical blockbuster, going on to gross nearly $1 billion globally, making it the biggest film of all time until Titanic. With its re-releases, Jurassic Park officially hit $1 billion, but it still didn't match Jurassic World's staggering $1.6 billion. Steven Spielberg was fairly hands-on as an executive producer with Jurassic World. He was present through its many incarnations until he found the script that balanced adventure and sci-fi while exploring the spirit and wonder of the original. Jurassic World benefited from twists on the Jurassic Park formula, the major one being that the park with dinosaurs had successfully thrived for nearly a decade. The film also introduces the first true hybrid species, creating brand new dinosaurs, the infamous Indominus Rex. The dynamic ensemble led by Chris Pratt, hot off the Guardians of the Galaxy, only added to Jurassic World's mass appeal, and certainly propelled its box office receipts. Take some time to see these dinos on Max, Hulu, Prime, Google Play, Apple TV, or Fandango. Number 9. The Lion King. Prior to The Lion King live action, Disney's reimaginings had what looked like a bright future. Bringing Disney's biggest animated classic to life was a no-brainer. Disney reimaginings were really building momentum, and they did an incredible job with the likes of Cinderella, The Jungle Book, and Pete's Dragon, to name a few. Unfortunately, they really tripped up with The Lion King. While the film isn't bad, it's almost a shot-for-shot remake that lacks the vibrancy and creativity of the animated original. The photorealism hurt the film, for realistic lions don't emote well. The film still made around $1.5 billion globally, sheer off of the love of the original, as well as the goodwill created from live-action reimaginings like The Jungle Book. Make sure to join Simba in his adventures on Disney+, Google Play, Prime, Apple TV, or Fandango. Number 10. The Avengers. Marvel's The Avengers was the seminal superhero team-up film. It was 4 years in the making before it blew up the box office above and beyond even the most lofty expectations. In 2012, its global $1.5 billion shot it to number 3 on the worldwide box office charts, behind only James Cameron's Avatar and Titanic. At this point, James Cameron should just direct an Avengers film just to see what would happen. But I digress. The original Avengers was Marvel's biggest gamble that paid off in spades. Not only could its profits fund several more MCU films, it gave the studio the confidence to move forward with films of different scopes and genres. Even if worse came to worse, Marvel could always fall back on a massive team-up. The Avengers galvanized the industry. It got Warner Brothers to pull the trigger on the DCEU, and pretty much every franchise pushed towards cinematic universes, for better or worse, instead of fully standalone films. The ironic part is 2012 Avengers may have been a massive crossover, but it was executed with such finesse and juggled its characters so well, it actually stood on its own. It was epic but concise, with all context for its narrative and characters provided. It was more than a box office smash, or even a Hulk smash. It is a genuinely funny, sentimental, action-packed, cinematic achievement of epic proportions. Take a peek on Disney+, Google Play, Apple TV, Fandango, or Prime. Thanks for checking out the video. Did we leave any films off the list? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to tap that bell icon to stay up to date with our latest releases. You can reach out to us on Twitter or X at StudiosFat, or chat with us on Discord, linked below. Make sure to check out our very own merch store located at fatninja.shop. All proceeds go towards our next film project, so we'd greatly appreciate it. I've been your host, Jamie. Thanks again. See you in the next one.